introduce some players and have a look at Ephemeron. This map's actually turned out to be, given some of the longer games that we've seen so far. As we have to the bottom right hand side, our red Terran player is going to be Cure. And to the top left hand side, the blue Protoss is Trust. And Team Revolution, someone that's a Korean player that you oftentimes hear the name of, but you don't see him in all of these events. So I was excited to be able to get him on board and to play in the TLMC tournament this time around. As we get this set up to go. So Ephemeron has these bridges, which kind of makes the map very interesting in terms of how you're meant to attack on it, because unless you go through these rocks here, you go over bridges, and that's like your only choice. And again, obviously going up bridges, your army gets split, you're a little bit, you're in a little bit of a mess and so on. So it becomes a little bit rough. And as we do see that probe actually going down in the fight against the SCV, so a probe lost early. Definitely not how things are generally meant to be looking. So Reaper starting up, Command Center getting going as well. I mean, very standard Reaper expansion, as we do just see the Nexus coming down on the other side of the map. If we hop over there, so Nexus is coming down on the other side of the map, and just going to be continuing to build here as the Cyber Core coming up to block off this Reaper jump up area. Good to see the players seem very familiar with the maps. We haven't seen players kind of messing around in the Zerg matches, like trying to find Overlord spots. We've not seen, it seems very natural, like things such as walling off the Reaper hop up. It just, the players seem very familiar with where things are on the map and stuff like that, so seems like there is not too much of an issue. Adept being chrono boosted at the moment, as we are going to be seeing the first Adept coming out in towards the center, so heading down through the middle of the map right now. Nexus on the way up on the natural then, and that's about to finish, of course. We're really going to be able to see the choices from the players very soon in terms of tech, and there it is, the Twilight Council being placed. So it's actually placed so if the Reaper jumps up, it will still be able to see the Twilight. So that's also just stopping the Reaper being an annoyance and allowing the Adept to come across the map freely, more so than it actually being to kind of hide the tech from being scouted. This Reaper actually going to bypass the Reaper jump up area though anyways, and it will go in and see the Twilight Council. So Reaper sees what's up. Adept on the low ground has found one kill so far as well, so has found a single SCV pickup at the moment. As we're going to be seeing it again, still just looking around, seeing what's up. And there's that blink being chrono boosted out at the moment. Two more gates being placed on the front, so I mean, with the blink coming up, obviously we've seen a lot of Stalker heavy play lately. Maybe we're going to see a little bit more of it right now with the... We'll see how much he commits to it, right? Because free gates and blink can be very just macro focused in general anyways as well. Robot facility dropping in towards the main. So getting that robot facility up and running. Twilight Council going to be chrono boosting out that blink. And you just see again the couple of gates continuing up right now. So a couple of gates continue to come up. Probe coming over to the right hand side, dropping down the third Nexus. And yeah, a couple of Adepts again shading forwards into the natural mineral line. As you see, well, a few Marines just going to hang out the front. Bunker will drop down as the Marines try and chase those Adepts away. Adepts going to be coming straight through, trying to get up that ramp, and well, they don't get all too far. So I guess so far, good defense. As the Depths continue to come forwards. So yeah, so far good defense, not allowing the Depths to do much. We still haven't seen much of the Stalkers. They're just at home defensively, as we do see the third Nexus coming up. So third Nexus coming in here, Engineering Bay dropping down on that natural expansion. And again, just a couple of depots being completed, Marines surrounding into this bunker. All of that getting good, becoming good to go over the next little while here. Two Adepts going to shade forwards from Trust and towards the natural expansion. Going to shade up in towards the main base. SCVs actually going to be saved by the fact those depots raised in time. So again, job well done right there. Marines pushing forwards, a couple more orders. Also just hanging out in the back. Stim combat chills and +1 on the way up. Still just trying to push the Adepts away. This game in general turned out to be fairly passive because there's no stalker pressure on the map. There's just the observer. The two adepts haven't really done a lot. And there's been nothing from the Terran player either, which is, I think, maybe the strangest thing. We're so used to seeing Terran players nowadays go for like a 1-1-1 setup. To see the very fast triple racks and, you know, no real starport units and, you know, a Raven, but not much beyond that. It's a bit funky. Like, the factory is only really used here to build a couple, you know, a Wooden Mine, and then it was just used for add-ons. So it's just been a little bit less kind of focused on the 1-1-1 set of units than anything else. Is once a blink in to try and get the reactor. The barracks positioning is very good to protect the stim pack and the combat shields. The tech lab would have been those tech labs would have been very exposed. And obviously losing stim and combat shields as upgrades really delays you in terms of when you're able to move out onto the map comfortably as the Terran. So there's still, for example, from the current map called Automaton is a map where very often the Terran players have their, you know, tech lab sniped because of the way the main base works. There's another one of those maps, like especially if you're up here and you build your, you know, barracks like up this line. A blink in here, boom, stim is dead, right? So you've got to be very careful about where you build them, and, you know, building them a bit further back, like over here or in this little corner here, much better decision because it just takes away that opportunity for the pros to snipe it down as easily. Also on attack, about to finish on the engineering bay as we see a probe of trust coming around the top right hand side. And two Wooden Mines in the medevac are also hanging around as well. First Wooden Mine in the main base with a couple of probes. The two Wooden Mines getting set to go. It's going to fly over a pylon though, so this army is known, this medevac is known about. Stalkers try to get back to intercept as Immortals on the way up. Only 3 gases here, a sign of a very kind of gateway heavy army rather than attacking up in towards Colossus or Storms, etc. Most of these in that gas are 2-2 upgrades. Already on a good Stalker count at this point, probably just wants to build more and more Zealots alongside an Immortal here or there. As you do see the Stalkers actually blink in for a Widow Mine, and the Widow Mine in the main base can be dealt with by just blinking those Stalkers away when it's about to fire, so second Widow Mine killed as well. Good defense, although the Stalkers are a bit out of position, dealing with that medevac up top. Gives the bio a chance to press forwards here. Here you go. Fields are available. Big anti-armor missile hits the Zealots. Zealots especially are so vulnerable to just dying off to Marines when they can do enough damage. Interference matrices on the Immortals as well means that they weren't actually able to join the fight for a while. All of these abilities from the Raven helping the Terran out in terms of how this fight is going. Good blink away on the Widow Mine though. And still Kira isn't able to break through. Third CC moving out now as this attack has been unsuccessful. And obviously good time to take it when the Cross is occupied with an army on the map. Gives you some time to set up into it. What's up, Adacor? Thank you so much for the 8 months for resubs and keep up the good work, my friend. Thank you so much for the 8 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. +1 armor on the way down here then from QS. That's going to be done in a moment or so. Again, just going to be seeing these Stalkers hanging out up towards the top. Medevacs load up, Marines, Marauders, etc. going to come around to the left. Engineering bay is down, armory about halfway done as well. Continuing to set up into this. So you do see those medevacs going to burst through towards the natural, but Stalkers are nearby. Blink straight in, 1 dead medevac, make that 2. And while the few values that get out, the Zealots need to get in front and tank those. Because this has actually turned out to be not super terrible in a weird way, because he's killing so many of the Stalkers. That's the only issue there from Trust. If you just got the Zealots a little bit further forwards, I mean, it's still a lot to lose from the Terran, don't get me wrong. It's just, yeah, you're losing Stalkers. It's not something you want to rebuild, because you don't want to be spending your gas all of the time, etc., right? You know, you don't have much gas, because you're only on 3 gases. Warface in some trouble here. Warfin probably not available. But as he is pushing forwards, he has got Zealots now in the main base as well. So some SCVs going down to the War Prism play. Really, some units are going to pull back to deal with this army. Well, at the same time, we see units pushing in towards the 3rd base. I mean, this is mostly the only army on the map, I guess, at the moment. And Zealots going crazy. The entire 3rd ripped to shreds. The attack in the main shut down now, or about to be at least. And I guess in the end, pulling some units back to deal with this makes a lot of sense, right? Let's see a Widow Mine going off on the Zart there. Stalkers do have the blink. They want to try and blink to get the medevacs, but I think maybe it was actually just on cooldown for the moment or so. Well, now he cleans up this counter drop, though. Trust should be able to keep pressing forwards, and Trust having a pretty good start to the day. It's the first time we're getting to see him and looking to take a map off Kua. Kua, by the way, he dropped a map to Bly 0-2 against Impact. He's definitely not having the greatest set of results today at all, so he needs to try and get this together a little bit. he wants to be able to move on through. Assaults, Stalkers pressing forwards here. You see a couple of SCVs going down. Marines being killed as well. There we go. Biosim in from the left-hand side. Widowmines burrow up. Again, pressing forwards into this. The Zealots going to get blown up pretty quickly there. Good force fields cutting this army in half. A few more Widowmines going off right now. The extra Widowmines getting killed. And again, the Stalkers just blinking up into the high ground. And able to pick away at a few more of these medivacs. The medivacs dropping down. Good. Does not have enough. And Trust will be able to take game number 1 of these 2 games. Left-hand side, taking the first game, our blue Pros player is Trust. And to the bottom right-hand side, the red Terran, we have got Cure. So Cure's down a map. Hasn't been having the greatest day so far. And, well, Thunderbird seems like a very solid map. We haven't really seen much usage over on this left-hand side of these mineral patches that can be mined out to give access to this base. Though we've seen Cure take mine some minerals out to give access to a gold base on Rest Calm earlier today. So it's not impossible. We have seen in previous days these minerals in the center have been mined out to quicken this attack path. I really feel like the worker, right, should be able to mine the middle, though. I mean, I should say it should be. Obviously, it can. I really think maybe you should. Because then if you mine out the middle, it's, then if you mine out the middle, it's going to become a little bit of a faster attack path. You can only mine out one, though, with one worker. You're going to need another worker for the second one, so. Anyways, getting set up into this. As we've seen a couple of SCVs coming over, chasing down that probe. Reaper on the way up at the moment from Cure. So just getting that going. Once again, just seeing those couple of SCVs running around after that probe there. Command Center dropping down on the natural. And the Reaper's going to be popping out. So Command Center drop down. Cybernetics Core on the way up from Trust as well. And there's the early reactor coming down post Reaper. So early game looking pretty regular so far. Shakura City lighting. Man, do you remember the days of Shakura's Plateau? How far maps have come since the days of Shakura's Plateau. Can you imagine someone submitted a Shakura's Plateau reskin to the TLMC nowadays? Holy shit. Do you know how hard that would be laughed? It is actually crazy how much the maps have changed over time. I always find that very very cool to look at. Like, you can definitely see like the development of maps and things that got phased out over time and so on. We definitely, I mean, nowadays we barely even see 4-player maps in the map pools, never mind the 3-player rotational symmetry maps like Catalyst and what was that other one called? Merry-Go-Round. Merry-Go-Round gave us some sick games, by the way. I remember a Flash game on that map with so many like tanks in the middle. Yeah, it had its imbalances, but it still gave us pretty good games. See, that's why I think the issue is nowadays. People are so quick to just be like, it's imbalanced. They don't give maps the chance to just be fun anymore, right? And I mean, I guess in the highest level of competition, obviously you want to try and reduce RNG factors as much as possible. But there is ways to play around it and stuff, right? So yeah, Catalyst, Merry-Go-Round, rest in peace our beautiful 3-player maps. I miss you guys. Is it wrong that you miss Overgrowth? No, I don't think so. Overgrowth was a good map. The only issue with Overgrowth was it was so overplayed. The Italian's going to try and actually will be able to... Oh, the Reaper Grenade to blast the Stalker across with an extra warp in. He's going to protect. I guess we should talk about this game a bit because the Hallucinated Phoenix isn't going to exactly do much across the map. You have 2 more Hellions about to arrive, so you can drop some into the main base. Others at the front still. Oh man, they're dropping the main as well. And there's nothing to really see this coming in. Oh, he's going to fly over the Nexus though, but he could avoid the Nexus. He does. Oh, okay, he doesn't. I don't think Trust was paying attention though, so the Italians are going to unload, run straight into the mineral line. Already one probe going down. Oh my god, the probes are going to start lining up as they run away here. 4 workers down. 5, 6 workers killed, and it's only going to be increasing. The other couple of Hellions try to dive in on the natural, and they were unsuccessful. The Medevac, I think, realizing here that it's not going to survive a runaway against the Stalkers. It survives here because it drops the Hellions, and the Hellions actually took a shot. Instead, it was good blocking of the Stalkers there. That's 10 workers killed, and that's exactly the sort of setup you're looking for in the early stages of this. Just going to be seeing the Medevac boosting down to the bottom right-hand side. Stalkers as well from Trust, continuing down to the bottom right here. Liberator from Cure coming up the far right side too. Forge on the way up from Trust. He has a lot of Stalkers, but there's a bunker here, a siege tank. Oh, there's 2 siege tanks. Okay, so he's completely fine. Maybe not if he goes to the top side. Oh my god, he just blinks straight in. Well, he's going to actually get 1 tank, 2 tanks. Straight past the bunker. I mean, what a dive. Expensive, though. Oh, still in the natural expansions. He blinks around the top. Liberator shows up on the other side of the map, and that's going to siege right on top of the Nexus, so looking to shut down as many of those workers as possible. This new tank coming in. Now the Stalkers should just be able to blink out of here. 5 probes killed, 6 probes killed with the Liberator, and 1 more as well. Does go back to mining too soon. Actually, all of them do. Oh my god. Well, those Stalkers, again, they blinked away. The defense here in the end is good from Q, and he ends up 11 workers up, expanding on the damage done by those initial Hellions. Stalker's going to try and blink into the main base, though. They will find 1 SCV and 2, building those couple of racks, although that wasn't a rack, that was an engineering bay, maybe. I guess the army of Q right now is pretty immobile, because it's very reliant on the siege tank to defend, although the Marauders coming forward will be a little bit better against the Stalkers, of course, as continue to get some damage done against those SCVs. Oh my god, 15 workers killed! Suddenly Q from a 10-worker lead is down by 6. What a way to come back into this from Trust. I tell you what, now as well, there's just not much on that natural, because everything's up in the main. He's going to blink back into the main, and we'll just go for some more SCVs here. So Trust going to find even more damage. 18 workers now killed. Turning back around. Going to see the Stalkers have to be very careful. Another Marauder taken down. Make that 2. Make that 3. Good target fire with just a couple of low-health Stalkers there, although he is starting to lose a couple. Blink Micro just a little bit late on some of these units. But the value he's gotten out of this, I mean, that was 6 more workers. This time the Observer scanned and killed. That's 6 more workers killed. So suddenly it's 50 probes to 35. He could probably blink on that tank and kill it if he wanted to. He's going to split. He's thinking about it, but I think he's just a little bit unsure because he doesn't know if the rest of this army's on the low ground already. It would be a little bit of a risky maneuver when he's already put himself in such a great position. The one thing he doesn't want to do... is throw away the Stalkers and die to a counterattack, right? Because the army of Q should be pretty powerful here soon, despite the fact that the workers have been going down. And that's just because Q has mostly been killing Stalkers while they've already been killing SCVs, which in the long term is great, but again, in an immediate counterattack, it can be dangerous. Stalkers doing what they should be doing. Continuing to keep map control here, getting free damage to slow this army from moving across the map. Should be able to blink across those mineral patches here. I don't think that is a problem. As we do see the Stalkers going to blink over there now. And we do have this Medevac with a couple of Widow Mines inside are going to start boosting up to the upper left-hand side. And not for long, those Stalkers blink in and boom. Medevac goes down. And Cure falls further and further behind here. As Trust looking great, although there's some Widow Mines. Sorry, you missed the act. I'm terrible. I was seeing Widow Mine drops coming in. 10 probes going down. The results here may be enough to start turning this around a little bit. Upgrades even at the moment. Stalkers and sentries. Well, pushing up those ramp of sentries. The force field should be pretty good here. Sends a few zealots in. Oh, the Widow Mine actually targets into the center of the zealots. That's obviously very good. A few Stalkers a bit distracted to the right side. I don't think this is good enough for Trust to end the game or anything, although maybe with another couple of zealots warping in, it will be. Well, Widow Mine's been added in as well. SCVs having to be pulled forwards. Widow Mine's going to burrow to the far right. That Stalker now eventually going down, though actually the Widow Mine splashes a bunch of SCVs to bring those low and makes them more targetable. 1-1 upgrades now completed for the Terran, but nothing is actually being done in terms of fighting during this. Another 13 probes as those Widow Mines go off yet again. And the Widow Mine drop is actually doing so much at the moment here, as we see, and split to deal with the Widow Mine at the front. Fusel's going to be charging forwards here. That Widow Mine coming off cooldown, hits the Zealots. Stalkers and Sentries still fighting again. Losing the probes on the other side of the map is really painful. And at some point, I think Trust maybe has to just... It feels like he doesn't really have enough to keep on fighting. I don't know. Like, he doesn't have the Zealots here. The Blinks in. Oh, he gets the full medevac. That was the medevac that was trying to reposition units. Extra Zealots coming in, trying to move up the ramp. SCV's fighting on the low ground. Okay, I think this is too much from Trust in the end. We see Widow Mines are getting set to burrow over here again. Needs to actually burrow them, though. Stalker's still over here. The slowest burrow in all of eternity. Oh, well, the Natural's being pushed away from Q now as these Stalkers will kill Widow Mine number 1 at least. And obviously no probes will go down here, as we are going to be seeing the Orbital Command getting taken down. Orbital Command getting picked off as the Stalkers blink over. Sentries continue to press forwards too. 14 SCVs killed. I mean, it's just building on the workers killed from earlier in the game. Actually, 44 probes killed is impressive. I guess it is because he did kill a lot early. And then the Liberator. So we are going to be seeing this army and Trust continuing to push on through the natural expansion. Team Medivacs loading up, and we are going to be seeing the Marauders here just continue to fight against those Zealots. I mean, a little bit of an attempt of a drop player. Stalker's going to blink in and going to find Medivac 1 and 2, and, well, I mean, then what? A couple of Widow Mines avoided for the moment. Stalkers didn't have the blink available. We'll set them off now. It's just 2 more free Widow Mines. And as you are going to be seeing Thunderbird going the way of Trust, and Trust going to pick up his 2nd game of the day. How about that? As we see Zod, Stalkers, Sentries. We're going to try and press up this ramp. Again, if you're just tuning in, you don't know what the match order is. Our next series up is Cure versus Zest. Interested to see how Zest Cure bounces back from this one. Army pulls away from Trust, as we are going to be seeing the bio continuing to gather up here on the low ground. Temple Archive's about halfway done, and it looks as though Trust going to pull all the way up to the top left side of the map here. It's Trust going, well, it was starting to go all the way back home. 7 more Zealots begin to warp in. It's going to be seeing more SCVs coming down to the natural expansion. Stalkers again trying to see what's going on. A couple of Stalkers blinking back quite nicely. Zealots continue to charge forwards here. Another Zealot getting picked off too. I mean, the bio and the kiting ability of the bio is obviously pretty sick, but now Archons are being brought into play as well. I mean, it's just difficult pushing up a ramp into a couple of Widow Mines. There's so much mining though from Trust that really he can trade pretty badly here and still be just fine. Here he goes. Zealots are going to charge on up. The Widow Mines will do their job. The Stalkers pushing in with this. The Archons make a big difference actually because they have so much more pushing power because of their hit points. Again, when SCVs are being pulled into the fight, you know it's not pretty. Archons sure might go down. Nice micro just to help save one of those Archons. And Immortal shows up. I guess this Marauder FE Force, then Immortal does bonus damage to pretty much everything it's hitting. So that's going to be great as Medivacs will try and load up and save more units. Q will not give up easily. We are going to be seeing those units continue to fight on in. SCVs getting picked away at. Stalkers and Immortals continue to fight. That's GG for Q. And Trust takes down the 2-0. So Trust takes down the 2-0.